Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's episode of Lean Logistics, where we deliver behind-the-scenes insight and analysis of the inner workings of major industries. Tonight's episode will steer the conversation to the ever-evolving tyre industry. We'll give a rundown of the typical tyre supply chain, from sourcing raw materials all the way to the end product and its future upcycle. Later, I'll tread through both current and future technology, logistics and information systems in place and developing. And finally, I'll discuss the current and future challenges set to pressure the industry. Now to the general supply chain. The tyre industry is made up of four major players: Goodyear, Bridgestone, Continental, and the now up and coming ChemChina. Industry relies on a variety of commoditized goods, with raw materials like natural rubber from the bark of the rubber tree, stainless steel, petroleum carbon, and various natural and synthetic chemicals. These material sites and sources are both owned and operated by the major companies to ensure consistent supply over time. Once processed, the raw materials are moved via land and air freight to company-owned and operated tyre plants to begin the manufacturing process. Most importantly, the manufacturing plants are company-owned, just as the large scale and sheer complexity of production requires intense quality control, which is not trusted to outside contractors. Tyre manufacturing is centered around the Asia Pacific to capitalize on the reduced labor, tariff, and maintenance costs of the region. Once the tyres are manufactured, the goods are then sent to distribution centers. From there, all major players have made a global network of distribution centers focused on major cities, concentrated around central main populations in developed countries, and continuously expanding. Finished products are distributed via freight to primary markets, meaning both private and commercial automotive dealers, and the secondary market, retail tyre replacement centers. When users replace tyres, the retailers forward the old tyres to dedicated collection centers. From there, these are given to retreading companies. These companies specialize in the process of recapping. This means the damaged tread is then removed, replaced through heating and cooling, and then retreaded, conserving up to 80% of the raw materials. The repaired tyres are sent back to the retailers to serve as a secondary market for cheaper prices. Tyres too damaged to be repaired are upcycled into their pure raw components for use as road gravel, insulation, surfacing infrastructure, and even in playground construction. In summary, the tyre industry supply chain closely resembles a circular economy, with upstream, mid, and downstream information exchanged between all business areas. We move now to the emerging information technology of the tyre industry. The industry maintains office automation coupled with warehouse, office supply, and communication systems, allowing the free flow of data in real time to relevant parties as needed. Systems allow more personal contact between employees and reduce onerous admin. Transaction processing, or TPS systems, are employed to form advanced point-of-sale tracking for stock monitoring, quality control, financial data, and product movement at the touch of a button. Key decision makers use DSS, decision support systems, which simulate real-life scenarios through mathematical modeling. These test the feasibility of strategies at a minimal cost. These systems link to whole, strong enterprise software which automates the critical information into managed databases. We move now to the current future technological challenges facing the industry. Tyre companies must respond to developing consumer megatrends to capitalize on new and emerging markets. These include sustainable and ethical sourcing, where materials and business practices must conform to consumers' demands. More consumers demand a closed loop completely where materials are recycled 100% back into the supply chain. In the future, tyre companies will have to contend with a growing sharing economy. Subscription vehicles are already available and are set to increase. With the pace of this technology, the customer base of the tyre industry will be altered. Gradually, every aspect of the vehicle will require greater data processing and producing technology. Successful companies using this data to improve not only tyre efficiency, but to assist the consumer with their needs and wants. The vast production of data will require extensive security monitoring and protecting against hacking and cybercrime. Autonomous and eventually flying vehicles will be produced, forcing manufacturers to redefine their role in the transport industry. As this critical industry moves forward, consistent reform to its practices, research and development into current technology is required. to accommodate challenges and maintain future successes. With the market share growing by an average of 4.5% to 5% per year, the near future of the industry appears bright. I'm Brendan Henderson, and that is tonight's Lean Logistics.